Welcome back, everyone. This is a Super Kelly Brothers podcast top 10. My name's Sloan Kelly,
My name's Jody Kelly.
and we're going to talk about our vote, if you want to call it that, for top 10 1980s action movies.
Yes.
Did you have as tough a time as I did creating this list?
I'm surprised you said you had a tough time. I thought this was your genre. 80s action movies.
That's why it was a tough time, because I'm like, every movie for me is top 10.
Well, in that sense, I didn't have a tough time because it's not really my genre at all.
No.
Although there's a couple of we swapped each other's top tens. There was a couple there that I thought, surprised you missed that. But anyway, I'll tell you later.
Don't point at the sausage being made. People don't need to know that. I was
really
surprised when you go, "Oh, did you put that in?" My God, that's how all top tens work. People know that, but there's this illusion that don't know that there's a top.
Have I just broken the magic?
Yeah, that's it.
Go
on.
Right, pretend that never happened.
We'll edit that out.
Back to reality. Right.
So yeah, I'm surprised.
Shall we do?
Willow isn't in here.
You're surprised what?
I'm surprised you haven't got Willow in here.
That's not an action film.
Legend.
That's not an action film.
Well, you say that.
I don't see them as action films, really. Although I do have a couple of ones that are maybe not action films, but you know, they've got action in them.
Okay. Do you want to go first in this one? And I'll go.
How are we going to do this then? Just do our. I'll do one, you do one, so it'll be like 10 to 1.
Yes, I think we have to do that. Yeah.
Right, okay. As usual, I don't have mine in any sort of order. They don't need in an order, to be honest with you. My first one I've got here is Aliens.
Aliens.
Aliens, the sequel to Alien.
Yep.
Which is Alien wasn't really Alien was a horror movie.
Yes.
Whereas Aliens was definitely an action movie.
Oh yes.
Directed by James Cameron. I've got some information here, by the way.
You certainly have. I'm kind of yeah. Okay, cool.
Gobsmacked. Released in 1986.
Uh-huh.
Like this. And it was definitely a totally different, as I said, it was a totally different movie to the first one, and that it was an action movie.
Yes.
And Sigourney Weaver is totally badass in it.
Mm-hmm.
Am I allowed to say badass?
Sure. Well, you have to.
Yeah. And it's got Bill Paxton in it, who's a total wimp.
Yeah.
Playing it brilliantly. And yeah, it's a totally brilliant film. It's it gives more of the alien lore. It does more for. It's probably is it a better movie?
I think so. I think so.
I don't know.
I mean, the first movie's terrifying. I mean, it's a horror movie, which is not my genre. I don't like horror movies, but I did like Alien.
Yeah.
And I loved everything about Alien. I loved the fact that Dallas is in his little protective bubble thing, trying to do that, and then he's like, I need to go and be the hero. And then when he does decide to do that, it ends badly for him, which is what always happens. And then they get picked off by one. It's the 13th.
Yeah. I suppose the most important thing about this movie, apart from all the action and set pieces and the special effects are absolutely brilliant, is the fact that Ripley is a female character and she is the lead in an action movie.
Yes.
Is that a first? I can't think of a movie.
Terminator?
One of the reasons I can't think. But that was
not on the list.
She wasn't the lead, was she? She was the kind of co-actor. Michael Bain was
who's also in Aliens.
Was the main
and dude guy.
And then in Terminator 2, she became the lead in the action role. So yeah, for that reason, I love it. I love the set pieces. I love how it continued the story, and brilliant film. It's one of those movies that is as good as or better than the original one. One of those rare movies.
And it's also rare that a sequel doesn't retread the path of the original one as well, because this is a completely different genre. It's not like it's like, oh, it's not like, you know, Scream 2, where it's the same thing but just a different setting. This is a completely different genre. I think it was Paul Reiser's in this from Mad About You, the sitcom, the comedic actor. I think he was he not in My Two Dads as well?
Okay, I know who you mean. Yeah, he's in Stranger Things now.
No, partner. Yes, he is. Yeah, he plays.
Yeah. He was a right solid 80s actor, wasn't he, back in the day?
And then nothing.
Yeah, and Stranger Things.
Been done.
But that's what they seem to do. That in Stranger Things, they brought in Matthew Modine, you know, kind of really big 80s actors like Winona Ryder and you know
Sean Astin as well.
Yeah, of course. So he was one of those guys. Yeah, brilliant.
Is it Sean Astin? Sean Astin, isn't it?
He was the Alien. The Alien movies always have a prick, don't they?
Yeah.
And he was the prick. Let's leave it there.
Yes. Next up, you have one spelling of John McTiernan, which is wrong, but okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it's your turn, though. I thought it was turnabout.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to go with Beverly Hills. Are we doing a turnabout? Does that make any sense?
I thought that's what we're doing. No, I'll carry on then. That's what I thought we agreed on.
Anyway,
my next movie is a John McTiernan film from 1987.
Mm-hmm. You're getting good.
It's a beautiful year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tremendous year.
Yeah.
I went all Trumpy there, didn't I? Predator, or as we call it, Predator.
I think it's called Predator. It's not.
Yeah, it's a really totally joking. I'm just messing with you. Predator is obviously everyone knows it. It's one of the most perfect action films of all time. Arnie stuck in a jungle with a big mad alien that's out to hunt him down and kill him. It's just virgin on perfection.
Yep.
And John McTiernan had a bit of a run of movies, didn't he? And my next one's one of his as well. But
I described as explosives expert John McTiernan in a edition of Empire magazine. I thought, that's pretty.
Yeah. It's just brilliant. It's at the time very original, really, and you know the special effects to make the Predator invisible and stuff must have, because there was no digital effects, or was there? They must have done it digitally. That
I think the first use
make him look invisible
was I want to say Wrath of Khan. No, not Wrath of Khan. Oh no, maybe it was Wrath of Khan actually. The Genesis effect. I think that was the first time that CGI was actually used, because
I think it was Star Wars, Star Trek, the original movie.
The original one?
No. Aye, but you know how it's all kind of spacey.
No,
like 2001-esque things going on.
I think it was the same as Kubrick. It was all optical stuff, whereas the first one was the particle system created by Lucasfilm for Genesis effect.
I'm not sure about that. We'll need to look that up.
I tell you what, if you know the answer,
all 5 of you, let us know.
Watch this. Plug it in below, and we'll go like, all right, okay, it was Alien or whatever.
Yeah.
First one.
Anyway, they must have done it in some sort of
crazy
technology way, because it looks good.
Yeah, it does.
Arnie is solid in this movie as usual. He's brilliant.
He's very well. Certainly solid.
He's very well. Let's not go there.
Yeah.
We've got Apollo Creed in there. God, I had his name earlier on.
Yeah, he's in the Mandalorian.
Mando, yeah.
Oh,
And Jesse thingy.
Jesse Ventura's in it. Yeah,
as well. Who's the guy that keeps like shaving himself with a big mad jungle blade as well?
oh
The
yeah,
black guy. Who's
yeah.
that?
I can't remember, but yeah.
Yeah, they're all brilliant and they're all totally defined characters in it. Fantastic.
Shane Black's in it as well, the screenwriter who I think wrote Predator as well.
Oh, really?
He's in it. He's the guy that does all the crude jokes.
All right, okay. Was Predator wasn't based on anything though? It was just a screenplay.
It was a treatment
Was it?
around for a few years. In fact, Jean-Claude Van Damme was attached at one point to play the Predator, and when he was more of a kind of crazy looking alien thing, but he kind of out, or they went in a different direction and they didn't go with Jean-Claude. I think by that point
I don't like.
It was like a huge 80.
I'm not a big
Van
Damme fan. He is not in my list, and neither is Steven Seagal.
No,
which I thought might have been in your list. Under Siege, anyone?
That was 93, I think.
Is it?
Yeah. So that's why it's not on the list.
No. Fair enough. Okay, my next one is Die Hard. Mm-hmm. This isn't in really any order, which it probably should be. A top 10 is a top 10. It's the cream of the crop. Yeah. Let's just say they're all number one.
Yeah.
Die Hard, 1988, John McTiernan again. We've spoken about Die Hard many times in this video or podcast or whatever we do. How good it is. It ignited Bruce Willis' career. Mm-hmm. And it one of the best bad guys ever, Alan Rickman. Brilliant. Yep. Him crawling about through ventilation shafts and stuff, and like you said, which I never thought about before, it's kind of a buddy movie, about a kind of buddy movie with the cop on the ground, and he's chatting to him all the time, and yeah, nice one. The next one's a similar thing, Lethal Weapon.
Yep. I'm looking at the list just now as you're going through it, and all of these are late 80s, and I remember watching them all through the 80s, and clearly my memory's shot.
Well, my first ones are late 80s, then we go early 80s, really.
That's true, yeah.
I thought Lethal Weapon
was for sure like 84.
Lethal Weapon?
Yeah. I don't know.
Did you?
I mean, it isn't, obviously, but I thought it was earlier than that.
No, according to the Tinternet, it's 1987. Mm-hmm. And I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe everything I read on the internet.
It's true. And this is kind of strange. So the last time I think Richard Donner worked for Warner Brothers, he did Spider-Man, Superman 2, and then was kicked off the project, and they brought in Linklater.
No.
The other way around?
It was... Oh, no, you're right. It was Richard Donner that did the first two, and then Linklater did... Linklater directed Hard Day's Night, movies like that, and he get brought in to do...
Finish off
to...
90% of the stuff that was shown in Spider-Man, Superman 2 was Richard Donner's film. It was his direction. He just... the back end of it.
Superman 1 and 2 were filmed back to back.
Yeah.
So they were both his baby, and I don't know, I can't remember why they fell out about it, but
I think it was the Salkins they didn't like, because they owned the rights to Superman for reasons, and so they didn't, or they owned the film rights, I guess, and they didn't like Donner's direction, and so they canned him.
Was it the comedy? Was that what it was? They brought Richard
Pryor came in the third one.
No, the director Linklater.
Yeah.
I brought him in because he was a kind of renowned comedy director of comedy and stuff.
Yeah. And they wanted
Tell you what, though, those two movies completely stand up for me. Superhero movies go. It's fantastic.
There are some. I even like. To be honest,
you can get the Richard Donner cuts now.
That's right. Yeah. Anyway,
nice.
Weapon is, if you're looking for a good buddy cop movie, Weapon is perfection.
Yeah. It's one of those ones where they hate each other to begin with and then love each other at the end. Yeah. Spoilers.
Yeah.
And Mel Gibson's fantastic. I just love Mel Gibson. I know he's had his moments and stuff like that, but he's brilliant at playing any role he's in. He's brilliant, and he's a fantastic director. He's one of the best directors around just now. He has not put a foot wrong. Wait for it. As a director, as a person, stuff.
Yes.
Anyway, right. Okay. Now we're moving on to First Blood, which is Sly Stallone's. It was based on a book by. I haven't done this much research, but anyway, it was based on a book.
Yeah.
Of an ex.
It's a long story.
Vietnam. Long time.
Rambo First Blood Part 2, filmed entirely in Mexico.
Yeah. Lost my train of thought now.
Sorry. Yeah.
So First Blood. Stallone plays an ex-soldier from Vietnam, trying to just live a normal life, and shit seems to follow him, and he ends up.
It's the Born in the USA as a movie.
It's kind of a misunderstanding, isn't it?
It's very much
like he's just trying to, and it's actually the policeman, and it's Brian Dennehy, who died recently, who just has it in for him completely.
Yeah.
Brian Dennehy, and all he wants to do is live a quiet life, but Brian Dennehy just doesn't want it, and then it's kind of. You could do a comedy about it, actually, like a farce. Can you?
There is a bit as well when he first gets taken to the station, and he's getting his fingerprints done. And he keeps trying to take the ink off him, and the guy keeps grabbing the handkerchief off him, and then it's back, and Rambo's like, taking the ink off it. It's a great. It's a moment of levity.
It's nicely directed, actually.
Richard Crenna's in it as well.
He's in them all.
Yeah.
Apart from the new one. Spoilers. Directed by John Keechief.
Chief again? This guy?
John Keechief. Either sounds like a sneeze or a towel, hard to say.
Or a place in the pocket.
Yes. But good direction from him.
Yeah.
Next, we're still in 1982 here, and I've got Escape from New York.
Oh yeah,
the absolute stonewall classic from John Carpenter.
Snake Plissken, the prototype of Snake from Metal Gear Solid.
Yep.
Snake.
Yes, so he was. That's right. I only read that recently. That was what he was based on. The Kurt Russell character. Mm-hmm. Snake Plissken.
Yeah.
Aye. Which is just a Stonewall classic.
So good.
Is it the first one the president is in, and he's got a?
It's Donald Pleasance is the president, and he crashes. In New York, and Plissken has to go in and rescue him.
Yeah.
And he's given him the usual 24 hours, whatever it is, to rescue, or we'll send the choppers in. And I think Lee Van Cleef is the big bad in it. He's the sort of major general colonel.
Yeah.
I think.
I need to watch that again. I've not seen these. I've not seen a lot of these for a long time, and I was actually thinking, God, there's that one. I need to watch that again soon. Aliens I've seen probably relatively recently. Predator 2, Die Hard I've seen recently. Lethal Weapon I haven't seen recently.
Mm.
First Blood I've seen recently. But yeah, there's 2 or 3 here that I would like to watch again. Great film. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Steven Spielberg, 1981.
It's not really an action movie, is it? I mean, I know there's action.
What?
I mean, I
This
is an action movie.
Well, these are my tentative links, you know.
I think you have to ask yourself, is this made by Carol Coe? And if the answer is no, it's not an action movie.
Carol Coe.
Joel Silver.
Carol Coe, right.
It's either
Joel Silver
or Joel Silver, produced by Joel Silver.
No, there's action in it. I believe this is an action movie, definitely.
Comments below.
Discuss it amongst yourselves.
And below.
Let us know.
Action.
Yeah. Down there.
It's not an action movie. That's right, yeah, down there.
Anyway, everyone knows it. Brilliant. I watch it every year, probably, that movie. So,
who's this directed by? What
is more to say? Stefan Spielberg.
Never heard of him. You'll never work.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, it's packed to the gunnels of action. I'll give you that. It is.
Why would you not say it's an action movie then? Because it's not a big.
Because Okay, Okay, maybe we should have gone over the rules. It doesn't have the classic buddy team up where they hate each other. That's the rule number one. You got to have people hating each other, or they've got to be placed into like a completely bizarre situation that nobody's ever been in before. Like, for example, Aliens and Predator.
Right. Okay. Wait a minute here. You've got Karen.
All right. I kind of know where you're going with this.
Thingy, and you've got Indiana Jones.
Right. Fine.
They hate each other to begin with. So it's an action movie, right? I'll just pop that bubble. It's an action movie. Right, okay, now we've got 48 Hours, which is Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte.
Stills.
From 1982. 82 was a vintage year for action movies, according to me anyway. Walter Hill directed. You know, very close friend, big fan of the show.
He's huge.
He loves it. So
every Sunday, he's just like, come on.
Yeah. 6 views, come on, everybody.
7, we're going for 7.
They've got 4 subscribers now. Yeah, dancer, well done, guys. He doesn't talk like that.
No, he doesn't. No,
I think he's American.
Oh, is he? Right, there you go.
Well, I'm assuming he's American. Walter Hill sounds like an American, doesn't he? Yeah, 48 Hours, Nick Nolte. Eddie Murphy plays a convict, and he's got 48 hours out of jail, I think, to help Nick Nolte. Not seen it for a while. To help Nick Nolte track down 3 of his thug pals or something that he knows about.
Yes.
So there's a kind of time limit for him to. Roughly, I can't remember exactly, but that's another one that I need to watch again. Both brilliant, and wisecracks and all that, which everything you want in a buddy action movie. Nick Nolte's brilliant.
Queel.
What's that?
It was his finest role until he played Queel.
Yeah. God, absolutely, Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Well, he was in this. There's been a lot of Cape Fear and all that.
Yeah. No, I know.
He's great. He's so gruff in it, and Eddie Murphy's wisecracking.
Yeah,
perfect.
He plays this kind of skeevy cop as well.
Yeah,
it's like his. If I remember rightly, it's like his last chance at redemption.
Yeah, and it's pure gritty as well, isn't it? It's the underworld of whatever it's set.
Yeah, Chicago, some Midwestern.
Yeah,
somewhere. It's probably
it's great. Now, you might scoff at this one.
I am.
And if your theory's about, it's got to be two people that don't like each other, you can tick that box in this. But anyway, I'm going to go for Gallipoli.
Movie that
one of me and your favourite films of all time, by the way. So that was why I put it in there, because your emotional attachment to it.
So you thought you'd get by that way?
Yes. So you wouldn't say, no, that's not an action movie. You'll go, all right then. So it's set back the First World War. If you haven't seen it, it's absolutely terrific.
Do you know what it is? It's I'll tell you. I'll give you the 2-minute summary. It's a better version of 1917, and I don't care what anyone. I've not even seen 1917.
Oh, forget, Sloan! You can't say that if you've not seen a film. You can't.
I can prove it. Go and see Gallipoli. Better movie.
You don't know that if you haven't seen 1917.
Well, I've seen Gallipoli 1,000 times. So
it's about two runners. One's called Archie, but I can't remember the name of the actual actor.
Yeah.
And the other guy is Mel Gibson. Two guys that are good at running, and they end up wanting to sign up for the First World War. Sign up as soldiers during the First World War.
Sign up for the service so they can go and fight.
Yeah. And Archie's a bit young, isn't he? But he managed to get in anyway, kind of thing. And they end up in Gallipoli, the big kind of Australian people lost a lot of lives in it.
Do you know who else?
Directed by Peter Weir, and it was another one, 1981.
Do you know who else is in it?
I've seen it loads of times. If you tell me, I'll be like, yeah. It's an Australian film.
Mr. Smith, Agent Smith from The Matrix, and he plays
Is he?
Is it in Lord of the Rings?
He's V for Vendetta as well.
Yeah, V, yeah.
Oh God, what's his name? Wait a minute, don't tell me. Oh, I almost had it there.
Hugo Weaving,
yeah. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Did you see him? Oh, did you?
I said it 4 times.
Told you your mic's dipping out.
I can't.
That sounds rude. That sounds like a euphemism.
I don't know what's wrong with this.
It's not, it should be. Anyway, brilliant film. And then another one, I suppose, my 10th movie. Oh, another and quite interesting thing about Gallipoli is the music by Brian May from Queen.
So I didn't know this.
I did not know that either until tonight.
This has blown my mind. I did not know that.
Neither did I. I was just looking kind of, I thought I'll get some information about these movies because I'm quite known for, being a bit about the facts. So I thought I better get some information about them. Anyway, so yeah, interesting. Queen's guitarist Brian May.
Yeah, that is good. That is a nice factoid there. Because like when you hear it, you're like, this sounds more like kind of not Vangelis, but it's like ding.
No, but that music was Vangelis and John Michael Jarre. It must be the incidental music that's.
All right. Okay. Well, then I'm really confused then.
Aye. That's why I was confused. Okay. I read it on the internet. Must be true.
Was it music as listened by Brian May?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
We'll check that one. Fact lovers. I do love a fact. Okay, number 10 is Empire Strikes Back. Action movie. People that don't like each other. Han Solo, Princess Leia. Can't deny it.
Yeah.
It's packed actually, but it's packed with action, mythology, special effects, great story, continues the story brilliantly, characters are amazing, brings in new characters that are brilliant, everything, it's got everything. Number 1, Empire Strikes Back. Top that.
All right. So first fact check.
Because I don't know what your top 10 is.
We're All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of fact checking for Gallipoli. Hugo Weaving's not in it.
Oh, for God's sake! please tell me Brian May did the music.
Right, let me check. Full cast and crew. So that's the first thing. So I did a search on the IMDb page for Hugo.
Why did you think he was in it?
I don't know. I just seem to remember him being in it. Maybe I'm just remembering it wrong.
Nah, it was.
Music. Brian May, composer, additional music, and conductor.
There you
go. Let me check it's right. It's not the Brian May.
Oh, you're joking. You're kidding.
Oh my God.
What an epic fail of facts.
Okay.
Jesus. That's pathetic. Utterly hopeless. Can't get anything right.
That's the funniest thing. So this guy was born in Adelaide in New South Wales.
Right, okay. No.
South Australia, sorry.
I thought I'd found a fantastic fact there.
Years ago as well. Well done. Sorry.
Gonna say.
Right. There you go. Good stuff. Right. So for me, my top 10 is a little bit different. Not much, but it is a little bit different. So, first one, Beverly Hills Cop. Now, this fits the archetype. It's about Axel Foley, who goes to Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Also known as the Crazy Frog song.
That one?
Yep.
Okay. So he goes to Beverly Hills to find out who killed his friend, and he meets up with, we know who it is, it's Jonathan Banks. But anyway, spoiler, he gets involved with the Beverly Hills police force, played by Judd Reinhold and that other guy that I can't remember who he is. But
the baldy guy.
Yeah.
The moustache.
Yep.
And don't know I'm doing that. I've got a moustache.
And also Ronnie Cox as well, who plays the captain, who plays the bad guy in Total Recall. Anyway, I'll be home in time for cornflakes. That guy. Right. Anyway, so Axel goes there, and then hilarity ensues, and it's very funny because it's Eddie Murphy, and it's also action, and it's the big gunfight at the end, and it's very, very 1980s stuff. Number 9 for me, Terminator, which we talked about briefly. Michael Biehn is in that, as is Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator, and of course Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor, I'll be back. Classic, not really a buddy cop movie, I've got to say, but it's certainly action packed, and it's great to watch again. It's
that's another one of those ones where I think Terminator 2 is a better film. That was the only reason why I didn't put Terminator in it.
Well, I think the 2 is in the 90s.
Yeah, I know that, because I checked. I thought it was 1989.
Yeah. No, I think it was 2 or something. 91.
That was 91 now.
So yeah, Terminator. This is not the one and only Arnold Schwarzenegger movie in this list.
You've seen a deep fake, I think we spoke about this before, but the deep fake version of the Terminator trailer, and somebody's put Sly Stallone.
No.
Instead of Arnie.
We talked about this when we did the Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Yeah.
And I really don't like Stallone as an action hero. I don't like him.
No?
I much prefer Schwarzenegger as far as action's concerned. I don't have. Okay, there might be one Stallone one in here. We'll get to that though. Anyway, so Terminator. So next up is Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He plays Quaid, who is or is not a spy for the Martian mining company. He needs to go back to Mars through using this system called Total Recall, which is it implants false memories and you pretend that you've had a holiday, and he gets the sort of spy package, and it turns out that he's actually was a spy, or maybe he wasn't, who knows. And anyway, it leads in this huge big like cat and mouse chase to Mars, and he has to sort of do the right thing. That's the bit at the end.
Yep.
He has to basically fight for the resistance.
He fights Sharon Stone right at the beginning. Almost at the beginning.
Yeah. And then halfway
one of her first films, must be.
Through Consider This a Divorce.
That's right.
This line.
That was based on a Philip K. Dick book, was it?
Yes,
it was. Right? No. Was it?
Short story.
Right.
We'll remember it for you wholesale.
Is that actually a fact?
That is a fact. And the reason why I know that is because of that and Blade Runner, I got into reading Philip K. Dick books.
Ah, yeah.
So there
you
go. Blade Runner is not in this because it's not an action film.
It's not. No, definitely
not. So Total Recall, and then after that is Escape from New York, which we talked about ad nauseum. Bizarrely enough, people don't realize that Kurt Russell started off as like a kid in Disney movies, and then he redefined himself as like an action hero because of the thing, and basically all of John Carpenter's stuff that he was in. He was this kind of actiony kind of guy, and then he kind of like did kind of character pieces in the 90s, and then now he's kind of back doing actiony stuff again. It's kind of weird career.
It's great to see him back, actually. I think it's terrific when that happens, you see him in movies like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and Quentin Tarantino movies and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. He turns up as the sheriff dude guy, bounty hunter, whatever his name is, in Fateful 8.
Yeah, Hateful Eight.
He also plays Mr. Big he's called? I can't remember what he's called. I think it's Mr. Big in the Fast and Furious series.
Oh, really? All right, okay. I've not seen many of those movies.
They're all excellent.
Yeah, I need to watch them.
It's true.
Did you watch Hobbs and Shaw? Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Aye. That's right up your street. That's the kind of thing you're talking about.
That's right, it was.
When I see those type of...
Vincent Street.
Aye. When I see those type of films, I always think, something like that.
I did. Again.
That's why you like that Extraction.
Each other. They have to work together. They're pushed together. And it's like north and north magnets trying to fight to get equilibrium. That's an action movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so after Escape from New York, another John Carpenter movie, Big Trouble in Little China.
I knew that would be on your list. Totally knew it. I know.
It's so good.
I knew that would be on your list.
Good. It's basically, again, the story of Kurt Russell. He plays Jack Burton, a truck driver who he's got a friend in Chinatown. He spends the night with him gambling, and then his friend, for some reason, says, "Can you give me a lift to the airport?" So they go in his big rig, and anyway, whatever reason, his girlfriend at the airport gets captured, and then he gets embroiled in this kind of like weird cult thing with Dave Lopan as the bad guy, and then these like bad demons come down, and then he's got it turns into this weird fantasy thing at the end of it with like 80s neon and stuff. Such a good movie.
I'll tell you what,
Val as well. She plays the interest.
John Carpenter had some run of movies, didn't he, in the 80s? Bloody hell. Halloween, Thing, Big Trouble in Little China, Escape from New York. Bloody hell.
They Live, which didn't...
They Live, that was a Aye, that was quite early on, though, wasn't it? Was that 70s?
Late. It was 89.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Bloody hell, I thought it was in early 80s, late 70s.
I couldn't get it into the top 10. I tried to get it into the top 10, but I was like, it would just be John Carpenter's top 10 at that point.
I know. You could quite easily do that.
Yeah, so I didn't. I avoided doing that. Number 5, RoboCop. He's the cop.
Nice one.
He stopped.
Nice one. Never thought of that one.
RoboCop, of course, with Pete Murphy, not the Pete Murphy, the other Pete Murphy.
Peter Murphy.
And he's got to fight Ronnie Cox again, who's the bad guy in charge of OCP, Omni Computer Products, or whatever they're called. And he creates Ed 209, and also the dad from is the dad from what do you call him is in it? That's
I can't even help you out.
Kurtwood Smith. He plays the drug dealer. Maybe I'm getting that mixed up with RoboCop too. Maybe I am. No, I'm pretty sure he is the drug dealer.
So no, that's a film I've not seen for a long time, RoboCop. Paul Verhoeven directed it.
Along with Paul as well, Paul Verhoeven.
Verhoeven, who had a hell of a run of movies as well.
He did.
Yeah. Starship Troopers, Showgirls,
7.
Which is a borderline comedy, but nobody realised it at the time.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of plays in the fact it's a comedy, but
it's a satire.
I don't think it was. It wasn't meant to be as funny as the way it came out.
I don't know. It's kind of tongue in cheek.
But Starship Troopers was a bit like that as well, though, because a lot of these movies were tongue in cheek. You know, with the advertising. RoboCop had that as well, didn't it? The news.
Yeah, RoboCop. I'd buy that for $1 guy.
Yeah. So it's all that kind of stuff in it. So you could probably argue he must have meant all that. He must have.
Oh yeah. Anyway, great movie, and it's a buddy cop movie as well, because his partner, his ex-partner, becomes RoboCop's partner, and she starts to realize that it's Murphy that's under there and not just some mindless automaton. So next up is Predator, which we talked about.
Yep.
Museum. Then after that, Lethal Weapon 2. Now I chose 2 over 1.
Because Patsy Kensett's in it.
No, because Leo Getz is in it. We did this before.
Of course. Because he does add something. Yeah.
It was that again. It was the sequel was a little bit better than the first one.
Yeah. The comedy factor gets ramped up, doesn't it?
Yeah, because it was a little bit. It was a little bit dark, the first one, like the whole electrocution thing and Joshua.
Oh, aye, that's right.
Crazy. Where the second one was. I mean, they weren't playing it for yucks, but there was certainly the bit in it where they go through the drive-through and Leo Getz goes into this 5-minute rant about how they screw you over at the drive-through and things. So good.
Funniest line in Lethal Weapon 1 is like the shepherd said, "Let's get the flock out of here."
Yes. Yeah.
Or what's that effect?
I think the third one, one of the lines is, "Rog, grab the cat."
Yeah.
So after that, this is the only Stallone movie to make it into the top 10 for me. Tango and Cash. Cash and Tango. The thorn in my side.
Which is Kurt Russell again with
Stallone.
Stallone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the bad guy is Jack Palance. And he does
3 Kurt Russell films in here.
Yeah, because Kurt Russell was huge in the 80s.
It was.
Kurt Russell movies, and I think 3 Arnie movies as well. Mm-hmm. Predator, Total Recall, and Terminator.
Yeah, so you have. Jack Palance was the baddie in that. I don't remember that. I can't remember Tango and Cash.
Yep.
You've seen it?
Before he was in City Slickers. For all want a reference.
And Batman.
Oh yes, he was. That's right. Yeah. My God.
And millions of cowboy movies.
And City Slickers. And of course, the number one movie, which is probably my number one movie of all time ever, I could probably sit and watch. In fact, I do watch this every single year. Is Die Hard, because it's Die Hard.
It's awesome.
Probably is the most perfect action movie. I think it's got
That's the thing.
bad guy. It's got the buddy relationship. It's got tons of action. It's got wisecracks. It's got Joel Silver attached to it. John McTiernan is the director. I mean,
it's not to like.
I think it just ticks everything. It ticks all the boxes.
Yeah, definitely does. And Bruce Willis
is in it as well at some point.
He's great, isn't he? He's always good. He was told. I remember watching the Fisher King. I know the Fisher King. What do you call it?
Monkeys.
12 Monkeys, right? It's the documentary on 12 Monkeys, and Terry Gilliam told him. What's that?
I knew the director you meant when you said the Fisher King.
Not the Fisher King, the 12 Monkeys.
No, that's what I'm saying is I knew what you meant when you said.
Oh right, because it was Terry. Aye. Huh. So Terry Gilliam told him, "Don't do your wee smirk thing that he does." He does that all the way through, like that, all the Bruce Willis quirk, all the Bruce Willis quirks that he does. He's like, don't do any of that. Try not to do that. That he does all the way through Die Hard.
Yeah, that's all that Die Hard is just him doing his wee quirky things.
Yeah.
Especially like the bit at the start as well, where he first meets his wife, and they start talking over each other. That's total rip off of Moonlighting, just to sort of establish it, you know.
Yeah, all those kind of wee Willis quirks.
Yeah.
So should we just? You had the bubbling under as well.
I had the two things I had bubbling under. One was Commando, which we still have to do a voiceover for, which we still haven't.
That'd be interesting. Eh?
Yeah. And the other one was They Live, which is another John Carpenter movie with Canadian legend Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Rowdy
Roddy Piper, and he comes out with the best line in any 1980s movie, which is, "I came here to do two things: to chew gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of gum."
Brilliant.
The best, and it's such a good movie, and it is a total John Carpenter down ending as well. That's what I love about it. It's not. It's a great movie. Just go and see it. I got it in Google a couple of years back because I'm like, God, I really want to see that movie again. I couldn't find it anywhere on any streaming service. I'm like,
you can't go and see it.
No, you can't go and see it.
Sit in your house, sit in your living room, and get it somehow. Get it off Amazon. They've got everything.
Yeah, and you pay for it there anyway. So
you pay your subscription, and then you pay extra for the movies you actually want.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's a great idea. Best in the world.
No, I had Spy Who Loved Me. Unfortunately, I was way back. It was 1977. I was gutted actually because that was the first time Jaws was in a movie.
Oh, right.
I really liked that one.
Is that the one where they're in the cars above Brazil? The Skyliner type gondolas.
It's the one where they're in Egypt, I think. You know, they're going around the big column, the big kind of columns, and Jaws is there and stuff. And then at the end, they're on a train. Remember?
Yeah. Big.
And somehow Jaws appears and fights him on the train, and he gets him out the window. And they're like, you know, it's the kind of romantic bit at the end. James Bond movies, he gets the girl and all that, and Jaws appears. It's that one.
Not Baby Shark Dude. Not that Jaws.
No.
Richard Creel. That Jaws.
Aye, him. Aye, well, good. Yeah, him.
How do you not know who Richard Creel is?
How do you remember these guys' names? Jesus.
How do you not know his name?
It's mad. Well, when you say it now, I remember it. But
to be honest, I watched the documentary
Oh, Moonraker, because he's in that as well.
To go, I think it was now Moonraker, and
Aye.
they're like, we should get Jaws in again.
Yeah.
And that was their only sort of motivation to get Jaws was to get Jaws back in this.
I used to think he was in every James Bond movie.
Yeah.
But he's only in those two.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it was a movie from 1977.
Yeah. Oh, well, can't have them all. That's why. I guess that's why you put Empire Strikes Back in there and not Return of the Jedi.
Well, Empire Strikes Back's the best movie.
Yeah, but it's a down ending though.
Oh, it is. I know, but it's not always a bad thing.
Well, no, but I think an action movie it always ends on an upending. The hero wins, and they always, triumph or whatever. And as I've got older, I've realised that Empire Strikes Back is a better movie than Return of the Jedi, because they don't win; they get their asses handed to them.
Yeah,
that makes a better movie. Because now you're
same as Rogue One. Dog. Rogue One, they don't win.
Rogue One, that is in my mind the best Star Wars movie of the last 10 years.
Of course it is. Yeah, right up there. Was that? I missed that. Dropped out.
Cool.
Yes, definitely deserve that sequel.
But we'll get the TV show, so that's not too bad. So we'll get the Cassian Andor TV show, so that'll be just as good as Rogue One. But yeah, that's it. Top 10. I don't really have anything else to say about it, other than these are great movies. Every single one of them would.
I'm gonna watch some of them again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with 48 Hours.
Yeah, I quite fancy the 48 Hours again as well, because I haven't seen that in a while. I do want to go back through and watch all the Lethal Weapons as well, because that was like I bought them on VHS, the Lethal Weapon movies, so I want to go back and give them a try again. Anyway, you want to add anything, or you want to sign off, or you want to?
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that. I think maybe if we do look back on them, I'm not promising anything, but if we do, we should maybe go deep some of them.
I think so, yeah, definitely. Well, anyway, thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, thumbs down. Let us know below what you liked, what you didn't like. And if you got this far, you might as well hit subscribe. Get timely reminders by hitting that notification bell. And we'll catch you in the next either top 10 or podcast. We do the podcast, we release it every Sunday-ish, Sunday or Monday. And we release one of these top 10 videos just about every week now as well. So we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.